Hello students, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching heredity from parent to progeny part 5. So, in the last class we come across one activity, okay, by observing how these Mendel's principles of inheritance, okay, will transfer from one generation to another generation, okay, the number of genes, the homozygosity and heterozygosity, okay, the difference we have studied. So, before going to start today's class, so let us recall the Mendel's principles of inheritance. First one, law of dominance. What is law of dominance? Law of dominance states that only one factor expresses itself in F1 generation. In a hybrid where both the contrasting alleles are present, only one factor or one allele called as dominant is able to express its effect, while the other factor is called recessive, which remain suppressed in F1 generation. Okay. So, that is if you take yellow and green, yellow is the dominant which is expressed, okay, in the F1 generation, whereas green is the recessive which is not expressed so much. So, in the F2 generation expresses both the dominant and the hidden recessive factors in the ratio of 3:1. 3:1, that is called the monohybrid cross. Okay. And the principle of segregation, law of segregation, it states that when a pair of contrasting factors are brought together in a hybrid, these factors do not blend or mix up, but simply associate themselves and remain together and separate again at the time of gamete formation. This law is known as a law of purity of gametes, because each gamete is pure in itself, that it is having either, for example, capital T, the gene for tallness, small t is the gene for dwarfness, isn't it? Next, what is the third principle? The principle of independent assortment. It states that the genes of different characters located in different pairs of chromosomes are independent of one another in their segregation during gamete formation. So, it is called the Mendelian recombinations were mainly due to the independent assortment. So, this principle was proved using a dihybrid cross. Okay, the monohybrid cross 3:1 we got, the dihybrid cross, and the phenotypic ratio if you take in the dihybrid cross, it is 9:3:3:1. Okay. So, let us proceed children today. The activity which we have done in the yesterday's session, so the same activity we can do with the help of the buttons instead of that strips, long strip and short strip. You may play this game by taking the buttons instead. So, compare your second game result with that of the first game. So, what do you understood? Try to play another game mentioned in the annexure, which is mentioned at the end of the textbook, then discuss with your friends. Okay. Parent to progeny. If you take the parent to progeny now, the actual part, a person resembles his grandfather. Okay, a person resembles his grandfather. A girl seems to have a photocopy of her aunt. Generally, we hear such comments. Okay, generally, when we attend a function, this type of comments we can hear. You might have experienced it. So, these similarities are the result of inherited traits. Traits means characters, factors, transmitted from the parent to progeny. So, let us do the following activity to understand inherited triads in human beings. Okay. So, according to Mendel, traits like the color of the seed, seed coat, length of the stem were heritable traits from parental generation. So, let us see, let us apply it to the human race. The transmission or passing of characters from the traits or characters or the traits from the parent to offspring, it is called as heredity. In the beginning itself we come across the definition of heredity. The process of transmission of characters or traits from parents to offspring is called heredity. The process in which the traits are passed from one generation to another generation, it is called as inheritance. So, try to understand the difference between the term heredity and inheritance. Heredity means the process of passing of characters. Okay. Passing of characters or traits from parent to offspring is called as heredity. But what is inheritance means? That process of heredity from one generation to another generation. Okay. Not from one parent to offspring, one generation to another generation is called as a inheritance. Okay. How do traits get expressed? How do these characters get expressed? Mendel hypothesized that each character or trait is expressed due to a pair of factors. These pair of factors are also called alleles. So, they are contrasting expressions of the same trait, as he named them, contrasting expressions of the same trait. For example, you can take in the pea, it is the same genus, but it is showing the variations, okay, contrasting characters. At a time he has taken the two contrasting characters in his experiments, like tall, dwarf, okay, round, wrinkled, yellow, green, okay, like that. A pair of contrasting characters he has taken and observed how they are transferred from one generation to another generation, F1, F2, F3. Okay. First filial generation, second filial generation, third filial generation. Okay. So, now we know that these are known as genes. Genes are called the vehicles of heredity. What are genes? A gene is a segment of a nucleic acid called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. What is a gene? Gene is a segment of a nucleic acid called DNA, which represent or which is present in the nucleus of every cell. It controls the expression of a trait or character. In viruses, RNA can also be controlling the expressions of characters. RNA virus, DNA virus, like that. The viruses are different types, showing the two genetic materials, two important genetic materials which we come across. Okay, they are DNA and RNA. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA means ribonucleic acid. Okay. So, here the two important scientists by name Watson and Crick, they studied this genetic material. In 1953, the detailed structure of DNA was finally worked out at Cambridge University by Francis Crick and James Watson. They discovered that the DNA molecules look rather like a spiral staircase, like this, okay, having a shape known as double helix structure. Okay, the double helix structure of DNA was explained by this Watson and Crick. Okay, the framework of the staircase consists of alternate sugars and phosphate groups. The steps which join the framework together are pairs of chemical compounds called bases, nitrogen bases. They are adenine, here capital A is representing adenine, guanine, capital G, thymine capital T, and cytosine capital C. Adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, these are called as nitrogen bases with which this DNA is made up of. Watson and Crick were awarded the Nobel Prize jointly with Franklin and Maurice Wilkins. Okay, they got the Nobel Prize for their work. The traits are determined by the chemical nature of the DNA, and a slight change in it leads to variations. The color of the hair, the skin, etc. are the examples of traits, characters. Okay? Slight inheritable changes in the chemical structure of DNA may lead to the change in characteristic or a trait of offspring of an organism, so which leads to variations. Okay, if you understand the structure, you can understand the function. Okay, so this is the brief explanation of the structure of DNA, okay, which was said by this, which was explained in detail by the Watson and Crick. What is the structure of DNA? Double helical structure. How can we define DNA? DNA is called as the genetic material, deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay. Now, the sex determination in human beings, the important concept of this chapter. We inherited our traits from our parents. We inherited our traits from our parents. Okay. Let us see how sex is determined in human beings. So, you try to understand this concept, because generally if the male child is not born, they blame the mother. Okay. After knowing this, you will understand who is responsible for the sex of the child. Okay. The sex of the child is determined by the genes which are present in the father, not the chromosomes which are present in the father, not the mother. Okay. So, now let us see, let us study. Each human cell contains 23 pairs, that is 46 chromosomes are present, 23 pairs of chromosomes, out of which 23 pairs, out of these 23 pairs, 22 pairs of chromosomes are called autosomes. They represent the vegetative characters. Okay. But whereas that single pair of chromosomes, last pair, that is called as allosomes or sex chromosomes. Okay. The chromosomes whose number or morphology and the morphology do not differ between the males and females. So, these 23 pairs are common in males and females of the species, and these are called as autosomes. Okay. The remaining pair, the one pair, is called as allosomes or sex chromosomes. These are two types. One is X chromosome and the other one is Y chromosome. Okay. So, these two chromosomes, the last pair represent these two, X and Y. So, you can see here the mother's sex chromosomes are X and X chromosomes. XX represent the female or mother. The father's sex chromosomes represent X and Y. Okay. The female child. So, during the process of reproduction, what happened? The X chromosome, which is present in the egg, combines with the X chromosome sperm, then XX combination is produced, then it is called a female child. Whereas the X chromosome ovum combines with the Y chromosome sperm, then it forms the male child. XY represent the male, XX represent the female. Okay. So, the mother only X chromosomes are present, but father has one X chromosome and a Y chromosome, means some sperms possess X chromosome and some sperms possess a Y chromosome. So, it is a chance, by chance, that is all. Okay. The females have two X chromosomes in their cells, that is X and X. The males have one X and one Y chromosomes in their cells. All the gametes, ova, produced by a woman haploid only one X chromosomes present. The gamete sperms which are produced by the male, okay, it has two types of chromosomes, that is with X chromosome and other with Y chromosome. Some of the sperms may be with X chromosome and some of the sperms may be with Y chromosome. If the sperm carries Y chromosome and fertilizes the ovum with X chromosome, then the baby born is male baby, that is X and Y combination. Okay. So, the baby will be a boy. So, here see father, mother. So, 44 autosomes and 2 allosomes. What are those? The sex chromosomes present in the father, X and Y, whereas mother X and X, these are the parents. So, the children born. So, here the combination, the genosperm, you can see 23 plus X chromosome, 23 plus Y chromosome. This is a gynosperm, androsperm. Gynosperm means the sperm which represent the female, and the androsperm represent the male. So, when this gynosperm combines with the 22 plus X chromosome of egg, then a baby girl is produced. The combination is 44 plus X and X, whereas here you can see the androsperm combines with the egg with 22 plus X, produce a boy, that is a 44 plus XY combination. Okay. The same thing happened, the offsprings. Okay. The baby boy or baby girl depends upon the sperm which combines with the ovum. If gynosperm combines with the ovum or egg, then the baby girl is produced. If the androsperm combines or fertilize the egg with X chromosome, then XY combination, the baby boy is produced. Okay. So, this thing happens during the fertilization. What will happen if the sperm containing Y chromosome fertilize the ovum? Okay, a baby boy is produced. Okay. Then who decides the sex of the baby, mother or father? Now come to conclusion, it is the father who decides the sex of the baby. So, is the sex also a character or a trait? Yes. Does it follow the Mendel's law of dominance? Yes. So, where all your traits similar to that of your parents, okay, that is 44, all these are the characteristics which represent the autosomes, will represent the vegetative characteristic features. Okay, only the sex is determined by this the gynosperm and androsperm of the father. Okay. Next, evolution. What is evolution? The variations developed. Okay. So, before going to evolution, the sex determination. Okay. Sex determination is the method by which the distinction between the male and females is established in a species. There are 5 main genetic mechanisms of sex determination, that is XY method, mammals, some insects like Drosophila will show this XY method. Okay, and X0 method is there, roundworms and insects. ZW method is there in birds, reptiles and fishes. ZO method is there in moths and butterflies. Haploid diploid method is there. An unfertilized egg develops into a male and a fertilized egg develops into a female in honeybees. This haploid diploid method is. Okay. So, this is one okay. Now, come to the variations, evolution. What is evolution? The variations developed during reproduction in organisms. The sexual reproduction and errors in DNA copying leading to or leads to variations in the offsprings in the population. Variations means differences, changes. Let us try to study the consequences of variations in the population of an insect in an environment. So, one activity, next third activity, the variations in beetle population. Let us observe the variations in beetle population. So, observe the below diagram here showing the variation in beetle population and its impact. Okay. So, here the beetles which are reddish in color, green in color. Okay. These are the birds which attack and kill these beetles. Okay. The red color beetles they can easily identify and they start eating them. So, the beetle population of red decreased, then green color population increased. Finally, after few generations all the beetles become green here, you can see. Okay, in the second observation, variation in the population, here red color and blue color beetles are there. So, the elephant foot can easily identify these red beetles, okay, crushed under this, and this leads to decrease in the population of red beetles, and again this blue beetles population is increased. The variation in the population of these beetles can be understood. Okay. So, this diagram showing the variation in the beetles population and its impact in the environment. Okay. More about that we are going to study in the next session. Please read the textbook, children. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.